Today is Friday, Parashat Korach. There are certain traditional foods that we eat for certain holidays. There are families that have a certain tradition that is associated with a specific holiday. And these things are traditions that are passed down from generation to generation. And sometimes the reason why a certain tradition started is not so clear, maybe forgotten. I remember years ago someone asked me, he's originally from Tunisia, and he told me in his family they had a tradition that every night of searching for the chametz, which means the night before the Seder night, one night before, they had a tradition to eat liver and hearts. So they made a dish of liver and hearts, and he asked me, is there any source for this tradition that has been a tradition for generations in their family? Well, giving it some thought, I told him that it made sense. Because as we get ready to leave Egypt, the next night would be Yetziat Mitzrayim, the exodus from Egypt. The night before, which is still connected to being in Egypt, we refer to this pasuk that says, Kaved lev Paro, that the heart of Paro was heavy, didn't want to let the people go, didn't want to let them leave Egypt. So the heart of Paro was heavy, was kaved. But the word in Hebrew, kaved, which means heavy, stubborn, you could say, kaved is also in Hebrew liver. And lev is the heart. So they ate liver and heart in reference to the night before the Exodus. Now, I guess would be referring while the Jewish people were still in Egypt and the heart of Paro was hard before he let them go after the 10 plagues. There are other such foods that are particular to certain holiday. Recently we spoke about the holiday of Shavuot, when we eat, some families have a tradition to eat certain dairy foods. And the word chalav in Hebrew, which means milk, is a reference to the Torah. Devash v'chalav tachat leshonech. So the Torah is nurturing like milk. Or chalav is also the gematria 40, the numerical value of 40, which is the 40 days that Moshe Rabbeinu was in Shamayim to receive the Torah. There are many families that eat couscous, which is made with solet, with fine flour, with fine semolina, on Rosh Chodesh. Well, it may be connected to the fact that the reading in the parasha of Rosh Chodesh has many times the word solet, an offering of solet, an offering of that flour which is couscous is made from. There was one tradition that I became aware of for the Jewish people from Marrakesh. They have a tradition to make a special type of bread for the breaking of the fast after Yom Kippur. And that bread is stuffed with almonds and coriander seeds. It would seem to be a strange combination. Almonds or crushed coriander seeds stuffed inside the bread. Why specifically at the end of Yom Kippur? Well, the parasha of this week tells us that after that rebellion and that mutiny of Korach and his people against Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe instructs each one of the tribes to bring a staff, a stick, and Aharon was one of them also. He was from the tribe of Levi. And the rod, the staff of Aharon, sprouted almonds, ripe almonds, the next day. And even though it was just a stick, it sprouted almonds. And Hashem tells Moshe, take that staff of Aharon and put it inside the Kodesh HaKodashim next to the Aron where the tablets are kept. Well, then maybe the reason why those families have a tradition to eat the bread stuffed with almonds and coriander seeds is because on Yom Kippur, the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, went only that once a year, went into the Holy of Holies. He brought the Ketoret, the incense in there, and in the Holy of Holies there was the ark with the tablets of the Torah, and there were also references to two types of food. There was the almonds with the staff of Aharon, and there was a jar, tzintzenet aman, a jar with a sampling of the manna they ate in the desert. Now, in describing the manna, the Torah says, Kezera Gad, that the manna would look like a seed of God. And Rashi explains what is God. He uses even the French word, coriander. In other words, the manna looked like coriander seeds. Then therefore, there must have been a rabbi, somebody who was very familiar with the service of Yom Kippur and the Kohen Gadol going into the Holy of Holies, where there was coriander seeds looking, the manna looked like coriander seeds, and almonds on the staff of Aharon, and therefore, probably that's how this tradition was started, in paying tribute to the service of Yom Kippur that had just completed. They ate these coriander seeds and almonds stuffed into bread. And there are traditions in family. Each family has their own traditions. Some are more common, and there must be a reason for these traditions, for those type of foods. They're not just tasty food or foods that people like, but they are definitely references to the spirit of the day, marked through the meals that are served on the day. And in closing, the ladies and the preparation of the meals for the holidays and for Shabbat is so important. It gives tribute to the holy aspect of Am Yisrael, because after all, if it's holidays, it's Mekadesh Yisrael ve'azemanim. Hashem sanctified the Jewish people and the times which are the holidays, and Shabbat is once a week, that is a day of Kodesh, of holidays, and one way we pay tribute to these times is through the meals that we prepare, whether it's Rosh Chodesh, or the holidays, or Shabbat. We make it a special day, and not just like another day of the year. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen, and Shabbat Shalom.